What's up, freaks and creeps? Welcome to another episode of Tales from the Casket. I'm one of your three hosts, Cliff Helm, hailing in from Modesto, California. And joining us, as always, are my two lovely co hosts, hailing in from Salt Lake City, Utah, Mr. Ben Outs. What's up, buddy?
Howdy.
And coming to us from the always classy San Diego, Mr. Raphael Mitchell. What's up, dude?
Hey, I am looking like a damn bum pirate today.
Army, give me
Got
me
a 5
booty.
o'clock shadow, crooked eye, lazy eye, bandana. I'm ready to rock.
Yep, you're
It's
here.
those
That's all that
Jolly
matters.
Rogers.
Oh, what kind of
Those
cup is
Jolly-
that you're drinking out of there, buddy?
Oh man, I was gonna tell you. I saved this one for you just for last
Oh
show
boy.
because it's a Can you see it,
No, it looks like a fucking round thing and a red thing.
Mr. Voorhees?
Yeah, Mr. Jason
Oh.
Voorhees.
Right.
That's pretty sweet.
I don't know if it'll show.
Is that like a floating hockey mask?
Yeah,
Oh,
Rad.
watch. It spins.
sweet.
Oh my god, that's funny.
So I was like, I haven't fucking brought this one on air. I have to fucking see what's up. See if you guys.
what
dig it.
what magical drink are you having inside of that?
Oh man.
Cosmo.
No.
Oh, okay.
Old fashioned
He's feeling saucy today.
with rosemary.
I told you I'm a pirate. This is
Oh, gentleman Jack.
some Jack.
Oh, nice.
It's a good breed, that gentleman Jack.
with some DP, some Dr. Pepper.
Sweet.
Double penetration in your Jack.
Oh,
Ew. Yeah.
was that cup another spirit store find?
Of course. Of course.
Of course.
Of course. Like I try and pick one up all the time. But this is it though. I think I need to get some more because I ran out of
I need a cool cup like you. Just a clear cup.
the
What are you
apple juice.
drinking, Ben?
I'm drinking iced wine.
Oh, okay.
I know people are like, iced wine, ew, that's fucking gross. I'm like, I'm over here being boozy. I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah.
would like some ice in my wine.
Hey, Myra got some boxed wine here the other day. It's the first time I've had like boxed wine, and I was like, this isn't
Uh-huh.
too bad.
Yeah, man, I
Yes.
had that before. I used to have that
No.
when I was like 15 years old. In the
Really?
farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd go pull up to a show
Behind
pull
a
out
vegan
box
steak
and fucking
cafe.
trunk.
And what we would do is take it out the box. So it's called a space bag, and it's just a bag. And you
Nice.
squeeze the top of the bag, have the valve open, and just go to town as long as you can.
Yeah.
You were
Nice.
beer bonging
Worst
wine.
drunk ever. I hate it. Was it's too sugary, man. It's fucking you get drunk real quick and a hangover real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she got the Cabernet Sauvignon.
You gotta like plug your nose. You say,
Yeah.
Sauvignon.
Sauvignon.
Sauvignon. It was
I-
pretty good
I'm-
though. I liked it.
this is the light, sugary, crispy wine. It's a Zinfandel, so it's
Okay.
actually really good chilled. but-
Dessert wine is that what they call it?
Nah, it's not. I mean, fuck, it's pretty sweet, but yeah, it's a sweet one, man. But
It's not
business. Let's get some business. Cliff, how's your week or 2 weeks since we've talked? Fuck,
Not too
mine too.
bad, man. Not too bad. Other than getting a pretty bad upper respiratory chest infection. I don't know if I talked about that on the last episode, but I went from being sick to getting sick again. And I was told it was the phlegm that kind of like sat in my lungs from that flu I had turned into an infection.
Lord, that
Yeah.
sounds comfortable.
So it was pretty shitty, but got some antibiotics and I got better. But while I was sick, I was just catching up on shows and movies that I hadn't seen yet. So I got caught up on nothing really horror related. I got caught up with some of the Star Wars shows on Disney. And yeah. And what else did I watch? Oh, I did watch a movie here recently, but I think I might save that for later. So.
Oh yeah,
Ooh, the juice.
absolutely.
Oh, and I got caught up with some anime too. I don't know if either of you guys are into any of that kind of stuff, but I do like to watch like horror adjacent anime like Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff like that. So I got caught up on that as well.
I found a button outside of like the damn islands at the I think it wasn't Cinemonstapalooza, it was the other one, Creep IE, I think it was.
Mhm.
One of those, and it was that chainsaw.
Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, because it was a button. I was like, what the hell is this? I was
Yeah.
like, bizarre as hell.
Oh, dude, that anime is so good. I recommend it, even for people who aren't into anime. It's a really good show.
Nice.
I like some
pretty
anime,
violent.
but all the anime I like is kind of like the 90s, like, the shit that you watched in high school kind of stuff, like
Yeah.
I've only
Vampire
seen-
Hunter D, Ninja Scroll, like.
Oh, those are good though. Those are classics.
Yeah.
I have no idea what these animes are called, but all the ones I've seen as a kid were like the ones we're not supposed to see.
That's called hentai, Raphael.
So- oh, sorry, nerd. I didn't know that.
That's
He's
is that?
drinking
that's
DP. I'll have you know.
that's anime porn, sir.
No. It was like the most brutal fucking cartoon I ever seen in my life. This guy's guts fall out and he tries to put them back in, but it's in I never seen a cartoon like that in my life. I was like,
Yeah, it's like
this is gnarly.
He's all, it's really weird. These tentacles went into her mouth and her.
And no, and then
like you guys ever see Demon City? It's kind of like that, dude. It's like a horror anime from the 90s, or I think it's the 90s, and
Oh, that sounds
there's
super
some heavy
familiar.
shit going on.
Yeah.
Pretty fun though.
Oh, hell yeah. So what have you guys been up to? What were you up to, Ben?
I hopped over to Los Angeles. One of my favorite bands is Skinny Puppy, and they're retiring after
Mhm.
42 years. So they were doing their last 4 shows in the city, and I went out and caught the last 2 shows, and I went to Universal Studios while I was there and checked out the Super Mario World land, and it was fun. Super cool.
So no phone call like, hey Cliff, Raphael, I'm
come
here
meet
in
me.
California.
Come meet
No,
me.
You
I
guys
don't
want to
like you
hang?
guys. I'm like, do you guys
I
I see
you
how it
guys
is.
want to go to a sold out goth show that I don't have tickets for that I can't get you into?
Yeah.
No. Universals. They will oversell it. We will be there.
You know what? At Universal, so I've been to Universal a bunch. I think we all have, but there was no fucking line, dude. I've got a friend and he's a mechanic there, and he came and he gave us some passes, and he's like, "Here's front of line passes." And then when we would walk around the park and give someone a front of line pass, they're like, "There's no way you don't need to use that." So we didn't even use our front of line passes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was
That's
crazy. I
awesome.
was like,
At least you
yeah,
didn't pay for them and then not have to use them. You know?
yeah, totally.
Exactly. How was the Super Mario World?
Yeah. What's that?
It was cool, man. I was watching little kids play. I have this watch on, and I
Yeah.
guess it can hit like codes and buttons, and it like unlocks all this stuff, and they get points, and it was
Yeah.
cool. The ride was cool. It was very like, I'm trying to think of the right word for this. I would say amazing for a certain age. For
Because
me,
it's
I was
like a
like, oh yeah, this is all right.
it's like a very like immersive experience, right? You're supposed to like feel
Right.
like you're in the like Mario world.
Right. So when
Yeah.
you're in Mario Land, you can't see outside of it because they've built the mountains that kind of go around the
Yeah.
little. It's like a cove or a cul-de-sac, and it's kind of backed by the Transformers ride.
Right.
But it's really cool. I just don't know if it was me enough. So it wasn't
Yeah.
like when I saw Star Wars Land at Disneyland, I was like
Yeah.
mind blown. I was like, holy
Oh,
fucking
Yeah.
shit, dude.
me
It
too.
was amazing. So but yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool. It was cool. I mean, if you love amusement parks,
Got to be different to bring something like that to life versus like Star Wars, where there is like
yeah,
more realistic looking things and everything's all cartoony over there. I'm sure. So,
yeah.
but you know, who doesn't like some old school fucking Nintendo, man?
Exactly. Hell yeah.
So outside of traveling, going to goth shows, Skinny Puppy, Universal Studios, Christmas season has started, and I have started doing, the Christmas count and the shopping and the gatherings and the drinking.
Yeah.
So far so good. Dusty, Mr. Raphael Mitchell, what you been up to?
Busy with work, but in a good way. Just photos and videos. Working on a music video with someone right now, doing storyline stuff. Haven't got to the fun, exciting stuff like doing the band performance, but
Oh yeah.
gonna be doing that pretty soon. So I just been consistently busy, and we're gearing up. The band Dead Rise, we're gearing up to play the whiskey in a couple days.
Sweet.
Oh
Play the
sweet.
whiskey go go in Hollywood. So just been practicing and focusing on that stuff. And I was like, you know what? I didn't have anything on my calendar this week, and I was like, oh, I get to relax. And then my brain's all like, nah, fill it up. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, brain. I am fucking go to bed and I wake up in a panic, like, oh, wait, I don't have to do something, but my mind wants me to do something like edit or whatever and get some jobs done. So it's been wild. It's been good though. It's
That's a
been
good problem to have, right? DRM Productions is going good and keeping you
yeah,
busy.
it's
Yeah.
slightly consistent, good enough to where the point where I was like I'm trying to keep up. So
Yeah.
Right.
and I to make things worse on top of everything, I quit caffeine. So I'm trying. I've been
Oh
Oh
shit.
shit.
going through hell with that. It's like every other day I'll be like headache, fucking tired shakes, like
No
irritable.
no coffee?
No,
Nothing?
I'm trying to get
Damn it.
off of it because it's just not doing me any favors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
totally.
gets to a point where I'm like fucking buzzing, having a good time, and then like that time of where you're not feeling tired gets smaller and smaller and smaller, no matter how much coffee you have.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you drinking Dr. Pepper? Doesn't it have caffeine? Are you drinking a caffeine-free Dr. Pepper?
Nah, they don't have caffeine in this one.
Uh,
But Coke.
he's like, oh shit, I don't know.
At this point, I had a headache today. I needed some kind of foreign substance in my body because my body was like, it's too clean in here.
Yeah.
Totally. Yep.
Was is coffee your was that your like drink of choice as far as getting your caffeine?
Every morning.
Yeah.
Started off
Yeah.
working for the coffee shop and taking photos and doing content for them, and then the those coffee shops are like drug dealers, man. They're like, oh, you haven't been here in a while, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've been trying to get clean.
Yeah.
I got sick, and I was trying to use that as an excuse to get clean.
You know, it's
you haven't
crazy.
bought your $8 latte yet today.
No,
It's like,
it adds the fuck up, man.
dude, and
No, it
tastes so
really
good.
does.
So
And
good.
you know what's crazy is I used coffee to wean me off of drinking soda.
Oh yeah,
That's how I was
Yeah.
getting my caffeine, dude. I was drinking soda like it was bad, dude. I was drinking it like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was doing that for years. And I was like, you know what? I got to stop doing this, man. Like, that's so much damn sugar and caffeine to be ingesting every single day. So I just quit soda cold turkey, but I was like, you know what? I need to get my caffeine like somewhere. And that's when Myra introduced me to coffee. So I have 1 cup a day and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm good.
Myra introduced you to it?
Yeah. I never had coffee before that.
What the
Before I got together with her. Yeah. I don't know. I just never had like the urge
So
to
you
go
were
out and have
like
coffee.
18 or 20 or something when you first drank coffee?
Dude, I was literally in my 20s when I first started drinking coffee.
Wow.
the 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah. Right.
I
Chushy
was a
little
kid. We all
hentai
used
boy.
to go to coffee shops to hang out, you know?
Yeah. That's
You would
crazy.
just like meet up with your friends at a coffee shop because you couldn't get into a bar, and then you go smoke cigarettes at 3 a.m. outside of Denny's and drink coffee until the sun came up.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we were nerds.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, you'd think I would be into coffee way sooner than that because like my whole family drinks coffee, but I don't know. I just never. I had soda. I didn't need it.
Yeah.
I got used
Fucking
to
tastes
it.
good.
My
Right?
girlfriend did the opposite. She got me off of soda.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, and then I got into coffee, and then I was just, we always got to have our vice. It has to be something.
Yeah.
I have a healthy relationship with it. That's good.
I don't.
That's why I need to
I don't know.
stop.
But like, let's do a triple shot. Let's see what happens today. If I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown or if it's gonna be cool. I don't know.
Yeah, for real. No, I get it, man. That's
Put
good
a
though.
jug at my desk and I'll fucking fly through it. I gotta
Yeah.
be careful. I love coffee. I'll just keep going.
Oh, I
You know, whenever I do like no drink November or I just go through a sober patch, no alcohol. If I have a show or there's like a social event or something where I would usually drink, I'll fucking just bring coffee with me.
yeah.
People are like, "You want a beer?" I'm like, "Nah, man, I got espresso."
I got a coffee.
Espresso.
Right.
So
Well, guys.
oh,
go ahead, Ben.
No, you already cut me off. You should probably go.
Well, I was
Probably
gonna
leave.
say we're Christmas is next weekend here, dude. We've reached the end of the year. Tales from the Casket is still going strong. And
3 months.
and we're wrapping this year up with our top 5 horror films of 2023.
I am excited, man. It's been a good year for movies.
Yeah, apparently for you it was. You have like a top 30.
That's true, dude. I was like going through and I was like, oh, dude, that movie kicked ass. That movie kicked ass. And I was just looking at my list and I was
Save
like,
some nerds for the rest of us.
5.
Right?
Fuck, dude. How do you only pick 5? There's been like so many good films this year.
Honestly,
I wouldn't say
it
they're
was tough.
so good, just fun. There's been a lot of like,
Yeah.
there's been some
Learn
movies
how
where
to
they
time
brought more.
management myself to watch that many movies like you, brother. Yeah.
I was like, I got a life.
I barely got 5 in.
No, I felt like I watched a lot of horror movies this year. I just didn't feel like any of them like really stuck out to me as like being in my top 10 or 5, but I wouldn't say I had a hard time making a top 5, but I got to that 5th film and I was like, all right, what am I going to throw in here? So,
Okay, cool.
yeah. But who wants to kick it off with number
Raphael, kick it off. What's your number 5 this year?
5?
Love this one. You're gonna love this one.
If
He's
you say
like,
Exorcist
DP.
believer, we're ending this podcast right
Exorcist
now.
believer.
I quit. I'm
Fine.
out. I'm done.
Yep,
Fuck
I'm
you.
out.
Put
Is
it
that
on
really
there.
your number 5, dude?
Hell yeah, it is.
Oh
Damn, that
shit.
didn't even make my runner-up list. I have like a whole bunch
like
of movies
the
written down.
makeup.
Hey, you know what? I
But I was
respect it.
also thinking, best to worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say Exorcist Believer had some really fun stuff in it, and the makeup was great, and some of the
I was more
first
intrigued by
half of
the
the
makeup.
movie was really cool. So
Yeah.
I was intrigued by the makeup and the special effects on that point. There wasn't too much, CGI and shit like that. Not too much.
yeah,
Except
that
for that
didn't.
goofy fog at the end.
Yeah. Or the
No,
guy
the
knocking
makeup
on the window.
the makeup was
uh,
top notch. I mean, that's Christopher Nelson, dude. He's a badass, makeup
yeah,
artist. So, I mean,
it's going to be a trilogy, so maybe they can redeem the series. Maybe it's a weak start and it'll come out strong. We'll see.
is it though? I don't know if we're gonna get another one.
I'm telling you, dude, that movie didn't make my top 10.
Yeah. Hey, but I respect Raphael's decision. It takes a lot of guts to say that's in your top five.
I have no guts, sir. Then
Fair,
beat it out.
Yeah.
No, so
What?
so I mean, like, besides the makeup effects and stuff, I mean, like, what other reasons does it make your top five? I mean, did you enjoy the story?
I enjoyed the story until for the most part. Like I wanted more backstory on why they got fucking possessed,
Yeah.
Right.
Like they were in a tunnel being goofy, making fucking little rituals or whatever, and they got fucked in the wrong tunnel. But I liked I don't know, dude.
They
Edit that
walked to the
out.
wrong tunnel. You're in the
They,
wrong
they
side of
don't
the
fuck
tunnel.
around in the wrong tunnel.
Yeah.
I mean, what they doing in
This is
there?
the west side of the tunnel, son.
They're in the
maybe,
Watts tunnel.
maybe those are questions we'll get answers to in the next one if we get another one.
Yeah, I mean, like it entertained me enough. I wasn't like, oh my god, that was terrible. It wasn't
Right.
amazing, but I don't know. I I honestly was thinking of other movies that could fit on that list, for my opinion, and I liked it enough to be a
Okay.
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
by far. Hell no, but I don't know.
I respect it, man. What
Cliff,
about
No,
all
you
right.
don't.
give us
My
a number 5,
number
Cliff.
my number 5 film of 2023. I'm going to start out with a franchise film, a little bit of IP, and this
Yeah.
franchise started way back in 1990. Little film
shit.
called Scream. So,
Oh
I
boy.
I went with Scream 7 for my fifth movie of the year. I mean, as I've stated before, like slashers are one of my favorite subgenres of horror, and there was a lot of hype around Scream 5, or as the kids call it, Five Cream,
Yeah.
when it when it came out. And honestly, like, I wasn't real big on that one. I mean, it was fun, but I didn't feel like it really did anything new, or brought anything new to the table for the Scream world. But
Yeah.
with Scream 6, I was like, okay, we're going to New York, so that got me pretty
Yeah.
pumped. And Nev Campbell wasn't in it, and I know that kind of pissed off a lot of fans of the franchise. But for me, I was kind of like, you know what, I'm kind of over the legacy characters with this franchise. I want to see where the new characters are going.
That's fair. And they all just quit.
Yeah, and they all just quit.
Everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, you have the what were they called, the core 4? So now it's going to be the core 2. We still got 2 of them left.
You want to hear something crazy? Scream 6 didn't make my top 10 either.
No.
Oh, no.
Nice.
I didn't even watch it.
Maybe these lists aren't as similar as you think, man.
I thought we'd get up here and say the same movies, but yeah, Scream 6 did not make my list at all.
Yeah, that's my number 5, man. I really enjoyed it. I like the New York setting. I liked the new characters, the new direction that it took, and I was looking forward to seeing where they were going to take it. But I guess we're going to get a whole new set of characters for the next one.
I agree with you. I actually really liked the New York setting as well, and the horror in the city. I don't know if you've ever like sat and walked around and went through New York City or just any big city, even like sketch parts of Los Angeles or busy parts.
Yeah,
it's pretty overwhelming sometimes. So yeah, I thought it was a really cool take to
yeah,
let's do it in New York.
Yeah, I've been in some sketchy parts, man. I took a wrong turn down a road coming back from Disneyland one time. It was all dark, and as I was driving down, and all of a sudden I see these shadowy figures start walking in from the sidewalks into the street. I was like, "Oh shit!" I flipped that bitch and fucking put the metal to the put the pedal to the metal and got out of there, bro.
You were in Anaheim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit, here comes Mickey. Let's go.
Didn't want to buy any oranges, dick.
Dude, I had my kids with me and everything. I was like, "Fuck this, dude! I'm out."
Yeah.
Didn't want to buy any tamales or nothing.
Yeah.
Oh god, don't talk about tamales, right? I can't wait, dude. Fucking Christmas, Myra's making tamales. I can't wait. But all right, Ben, what's your number 5?
My number 5. So this isn't even really a horror movie. but
What?
it is. It's a sci-fi horror. It's a sci-fi horror. But so just to kind of set the mood, one night me and my girlfriend were watching. We're like, fuck, we can't find anything to watch, and there was we popped on Hulu, and there was this poster, and this girl's getting sucked up to a spaceship, and I fucking love aliens, and I think they're scary as hell. Like a good fucking sci-fi movie is really scary to me because I believe it, right? I believe in aliens. I believe if they want you, they'll come get you kind of attitude. So I put on this movie. It's called No One Will Save You.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like nonstop go, go, go action packed. And I was like blown away. And I don't know if it's because of the alien part of it or if it's just the high energy and suspense, but it reminded me of the first time I watched 28 Days Later, and you're just ducking and dodging the fast running zombies the whole time, and your heart's pounding. You're like, holy shit. That's how I felt about it. There's a little too much CGI in it, I would say. It can kind of be pulls you out of it a little bit, but I don't know. Did you guys watch No One Will Save You?
Nah.
Yeah.
Hearing about it for me.
Yeah, it was like intense for me, man. I was like sweating bullets watching it and like, oh shit, don't go there.
No, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like you said, it was CGI heavy and it did take me out of it a little bit, but the story was so compelling and it got me so invested that I kind of looked over it,
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I enjoyed it, man. It's really good. I like alien films too. I find them scary as fuck too. Like when I first saw Signs, that movie scared the shit out of me, dude.
Yeah.
That goddamn peekaboo around the corner.
Exactly.
Do you remember being a kid and Unsolved Mysteries? Do you guys remember that show?
Yeah,
even
hell
that
show creeped me out.
Yeah,
Yep.
so Unsolved Mysteries, we watching it, and they do these recreations of these cars driving down country roads and the car turns off, and they can't start their car and shit. And to this day, like when I go on a road trip or something, or I'm on tour, it's like the middle of the night. You're like, oh shit, dude, this is where it happens.
Yeah, I wish I knew that when I was on the road with you. I would have fucked with you. But hey, the van's not working. In the middle.
Benzel, this is where it happens. This is where I get anal probed.
Dude.
Get out of Nevada.
And me and Dusty were on tour in that van. There was holy hell. Our fucking bass player on one of our trips, he drank a 30-pack between Salt Lake City and LA.
Did not pee one fucking time.
Holy
he did not pee.
What the hell?
And we stopped in Vegas and drank too.
Yeah,
he probably drank like 35 fucking beers in that drive. We were like, what the fuck?
God damn.
He was so fucking drunk, dude.
Dude, I drink beer and pissing like a racehorse.
Functional alcoholic. I could not tell.
The funnier part, right? So the bass player's drinking like god awful amounts in the back of the van as we're driving, right? Like I'm talking tons. The guy driving the van's on probation. He can't drink. and then our singer fucking got too sick the night before, and he's laying under the bench seat across the bottom of the van, like under the seats, like fucking puking on the side of the fucking road in Oceanside. And
Jesus.
And me and Dusty, me and Raphael are just sitting there. We're like, what the fuck, dude? What's going on?
You can't make that up.
Yeah, that's a true story, man.
That's fucking crazy.
It's a movie in itself.
Right?
Well, Raphael, the time has come for number 4.
Number 4.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Better say your prayers. None 2.
Fuck.
Okay.
I loved it primarily because of the jump scares. I thought they were all fun.
Yeah.
I thought they were good.
Yeah.
I like the setups to them, and I thought they were great.
Especially that crow that came out of nowhere.
The crow that loves you.
Shit. Is that a bird? Damn.
And my creepy light.
Who put the bird in this fucker? Damn, you know what? I didn't hate the Nun 2. I didn't love it, but it didn't make my top 10 either. Fuck.
Jeez. I like the Nun 2. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot more than I did the first film, to be honest. So
yeah, exactly.
And the fact that you put it ahead of Exorcist Believer, that was the right choice.
Yeah,
it's
I should have just fucking put Exorcist as number 1. Fuck you guys.
I should have.
He's all gonna put it at number 1 just to spite you.
Fuck your couch.
Is it their foreheads? Is that what they do?
No, Nun 2 is cool, man. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
And it has my crush in it, so whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, the jump scares in it were pretty fun. I don't know. I've said it before. I like that blasphemy dark kind of vibe, and I really enjoyed that from The Exorcist Believer and from The Nun, but
yeah.
You know what that means, Cliff? We need to hear your number 4.
Number 4. my number four is a film that I actually watched it recently. It came out earlier this year, and I finally got around to catching it. I was going to mention it earlier, but this is the one I said I would save to talk about. So it's called Infinity Pool. It's directed by
Oh
Brandon
shit.
Cronenberg, and it's a sci-fi horror film. Definitely following in his dad's footsteps, as you may or may not know, Brandon Cronenberg is the son of David Cronenberg.
Yep.
So it's very body horror esque, and I really enjoyed his last film, Possessor. And so I was really looking forward to what he was going to do next, and he definitely delivered with Infinity Pool. This movie is fucking insane. Have either of you seen it?
Nope.
I don't want to
Oh, that's
spoil
dope.
the goods, but my number four is actually Infinity Pool.
Really?
And yeah, on that note, yeah, my number four is Infinity Pool, but it was
Sweet.
fighting for my second spot.
Yeah,
I
it's really
loved
good.
it.
Oh
Loved
yeah,
the fucking movie.
it's so good. Like I mean, so you haven't seen it, right, Raphael?
Uh-uh.
No. Okay. So for
Oh,
like
that's
for the listeners, if you have or haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it like too much, but it's a man and his wife. They go to a beach resort. It's in a fictional country, but he's a writer and he's looking for inspiration. But they go out there. They kind of get entangled with another couple. Something happens outside the walls. You know, they're told not to go outside the resort because it's a
yep.
crime-ridden country. Not my words. Don't cancel me. That's what they say in the movie. And and
After you for the fake country. You made fun of our fake country.
How
But,
dare you fuck with our fake country?
no, so they hit a guy who ends up getting killed, and they tell him, like, you know, in our country, you know, murder is punishable by execution. So you have a
Yeah.
choice here, buddy. We can execute you, or if you have enough money, we can clone you, and he could die in your place. So this movie really makes you like question a lot, you
Fucked.
know.
It's so fucked.
And it just, I'm sure Ben can elaborate more on it too. It's just you watch this man basically lose his sanity and just like
Yeah.
just escalates into just total chaos, man. It's insane. The imagery, the way that Brandon Cronenberg uses lighting and like color grading is so
Yeah.
unsettling.
Yeah.
Like that alone just creates an unsettling feeling, like not even including the script and the acting and what's happening in the film. It's just he just has a way to like make imagery very disturbing, and it's a really good film.
Yeah. All the stuff happening in that film too, kind of. Do you remember in those 70s movies where everything's just kind of out of control and it's like Rosemary's Baby, you know, like it
Yeah,
gives you this unnerving feeling of like, what the fuck are people doing in this world? It
right.
gave me that. And Mia Goth, I don't know if you guys have seen X,
Yes. Oh,
Pearl,
definitely.
but yeah,
Hell
like
yeah.
Mia Goth, fuck man, she was so good in that
She's
movie.
so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah, Infinity Pool was my number four, and I just kept wanting to
She in
push
there?
it higher. It was so
yeah.
good.
I
Oh,
wanted to push it higher too, which is kind of funny, but yeah, it's a really good film. I recommend everybody go out and check it out because I feel like it kind of flew over the radar. It was in theater, but I feel like it
Yeah.
just kind of got past everyone. But it's a really good film, and I really look forward to what Brandon Cronenberg does next because I feel like he's the future of the genre.
that came out
Of
this year, huh?
the body horror. Yeah, it was
Yes, sir.
probably in the spring, I think.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's really good, man.
Oh, I want to have to check that out.
Yeah,
So
I would, Raphael, I would say when you watch it, get in a weird mood. Like when you're like,
yeah,
I want to watch something fucking weird.
A
You
weird
can't
mood all
guess
the
what's
time.
gonna happen. It's not like a, you know, like the movie I just talked about, the Alien movie. You know,
Yeah,
you kind of can guess what's happening.
predictable.
Oh,
Yeah.
that motherfucker is gonna come through the door. This is gonna happen. But in Infinity Pool, you're literally like, what the fuck is this guy doing the whole
yeah. What is
time?
going on? Yeah,
Yeah, because he's like,
Think-
you know, he's got his wife there, but then he's like being a part of the cult kind of a thing, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then the government in this weird country's involved, and you're like, I have no idea what I'm watching.
yeah. Ben, like 100% what Ben is saying too. I feel like you have to be in the right mindset for this film. It's kind of like it's like Hereditary in a sense where it's like it's not a movie you just throw on to like have a good time and have
Yeah.
laughs. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like you
totally.
kind
I
of have to be
hated
in the right state of
Hereditary.
mind. Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like Hereditary.
Are you
No.
kidding me? Oh my
Didn't like
god.
it.
Wow. I found that movie
Just
really
think,
unsettling.
I thought it was incredible. I loved it.
Yeah.
Raphael, did you know that was filmed in Park City? Where that little girl's head hits the sign?
nah. In
Yeah.
Utah.
Actually, a lot of Hereditary, a lot of the shots are here in Utah. But
Nice.
yeah,
That's
their
pretty
I
cool.
only
house
know about the
is on Park
Sandlot.
City.
All right. I want to go to Utah for two reasons: Hereditary filming locations and Halloween 5 filming locations.
Yeah, I think part four too. Eh? 4 and 5, or is it 5 and 6? But yeah, there's a
Dude, that
bunch.
is awesome.
Yeah,
I love part 5. I'll fight at the top of a mountain for that movie.
Hey,
you got to build a mountain first.
in general, Utah's fucking creepy. It's
Yeah.
old Victorian houses. I can't tell you how many times I watched A Haunting, and they're like, fucking Ogden, Utah. I'm like, oh, again, Utah again.
Yeah.
Like, about their hauntings and shit. Like, it's
Yeah,
wild.
Zach Baggins is always here.
Yeah.
He's always doing a show episode here or something.
I had some family that lived in Utah. They lived in Vernal.
No, that's
Utah.
that's actually. Do you know what Skinwalker Ranch is?
Yeah.
That's out in that area.
So,
Yeah,
so that's where all the creepy shit happens. All right.
yeah, if you're into like ley lines and like mysticism and portals to other dimensions and some of this like new age energy stuff, they say a lot of that centers in that area. They call it Tridell or like Duchesne County.
Oh, okay.
There's like there's supposed to be a lot of spiritual, magical, polar earth.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
why not? Enough people fucking witness things and document things, so
Yeah.
could
One of
be
the
on there.
one of these days, Raphael, we got to make the road trip like we were talking about.
No,
Let's party.
I'm scared.
Visit all the spooky stuff.
I know.
I don't know about that ranch, but I'll go to Utah. But I don't know about that ranch.
I don't know about no
Watch that.
Skinwalker Ranch. Unless we can
I had-
barbecue. I don't know
I
about
had
that.
some friends go there. They do like it's like a convention, for like ghost adventures and UFO finders, like just
Like a
that
meetup?
superstitious kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
they'll take you on a tour of Skinwalker Ranch. And my friend went, and they were telling me, it was like, oh yeah, it just was like a fucking desert dirt road,
Mhm.
Oh.
old fucking. They're like, we
Doesn't happen on command, guys.
yeah. They said it was cool that they went, but it was like,
Nothing special.
from what they were shown, it was just like walking around in the fucking middle of nowhere. So
Yeah. No Skinwalkers.
Which is scary in itself, if you ask me.
fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, it can be.
Raphael, it's your turn, buddy. What's number 3 on your list?
Evil Dead Rise.
Nice.
I thought that was great. I think they kept it pretty traditional with the almost comedy horror bloodshed kind of shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tongue in cheek on all the deaths and stuff like that, the gore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's smack in the middle for me. I really liked it. The only thing I didn't like about it is that they stole my band name and buried my shit on YouTube
Oh shit.
for like a few months, and then I was like, oh, I can search myself again. Okay.
Damn.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I felt like it would help you in a way.
I think it would have. It might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really look into where everyone comes from, but
Like your band would pop up when people type it in on YouTube and the
exactly,
socials.
that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. You never know. It could
For
have.
the rest of your life, people are gonna be like, "Oh, did you name it because of the movie?" And you're gonna have to fight for it. You'd be like, "No,
Right.
I didn't. Thanks for asking."
No, that's a solid choice, man. I
Yeah.
enjoyed Evil Dead Rise. Like one thing I could say about that franchise is they've been able, like over the past 4 decades now, they've been able to like turn out a solid film every time, So it's a good movie.
I loved it. It was just like over the top gore and smut, and I loved it. I fucking
Yeah, I love all the bullshit that she like the possessed the Deadites say to the
Yeah.
fucking and shit. Shit's so funny, but it's
Yeah,
like creepy
it's-
at the same time. Yeah.
It's actually on my list a little higher up. No spoilers, but it's on my
Nice.
list. Yeah.
Well,
My favorite part is that they keep a wood chipper in the parking garage. And I'm like, who the
Yeah.
fuck does that?
Yeah.
all right.
You got to go to work at 5 a.m., dude. Chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of pretty much every Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, like
They
Yeah.
tied in
the
a
TV
story
show, the movies, all of it.
at the beginning, so I hope they play off of that like a prequel.
Yeah.
And that I think it look like a lake or something, lake house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna see.
Well, isn't maybe I'm wrong? Wasn't that supposed to be the cabin?
I don't
Because
know.
those kids are out in a cabin, and then the ghoul or whatever
Yeah.
the deadite comes out,
Yeah.
kills them, and then goes to the city.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm
Well,
wrong.
I hope
but
that they like explain that more. Bring that
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Bring
Yeah.
it back to the cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yep.
might do that.
I
Solid
actually
choice, man.
enjoyed that they took it to a different place because, like, it's a weird apartment building. It feels kind of like L.A. or New York or something. It felt really East Coast to me. I don't think it was
Yeah.
supposed to be, but that's what it felt like. And it was cool to see Evil
Jersey.
Dead there. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the TV show Ash versus Evil Dead, but it's
I
kind
did.
of fun, where you watch a bunch of really over the top dumb stuff. And
Jesus Christ, Ben. I thought we just had one of those moments right now where we're all recording and some fucking spiritual ghost shit happens in the background. Yeah, I
What?
saw the shadow of your door just fucking start opening. I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw a little cat run across the floor. Scared the shit out of me, dude.
You're like, I told you not to say Skinwalker Ranch.
I told you.
Talking about the Evil Dead, and I just see this door opening. I was like, oh my God.
That freaked me out because I looked down and there's a white fucking cat. I'm like, oh shit.
Fuck.
Cliff, tell us your number 3, sir.
All right, my number 3. It's a film we've actually reviewed on the podcast. So my number 3 is It Lives Inside.
Yeah, that was legit. That was a good one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that film a lot, man. Like any film that introduces something new, something fresh to the horror genre, I'm always going to be interested in, especially when it's another culture introducing their folklore, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Into like, into the genre. Like I'm always going to find that like super dope. And I really enjoyed the movie, and I was able to, I feel like a lot of people actually can connect with it on more of a personal level as well.
Right.
And I think it'll speak to a lot of people. And yeah, this is a film I really enjoy, and I implore like anybody who hasn't seen it to go watch it, because this isn't a film that's based on IP. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot. This is a fresh, original idea, and this is the type of film that pushes the horror genre forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and Bashal Dutta, for being a first time director, I thought he absolutely crushed it, and I can't wait to see what he does next.
Yeah, 100%. I love the way.
Do you know what's pretty refreshing is so that was a first time director, and it was a great movie. And then there's movies like Talk to Me that came out, and they were like first time directors, and I was like, we're getting new blood in the system.
Yeah.
And like this for our genre films, it's so fucking awesome because everybody, we want our Wes Cravens and we want our Quentin Tarantinos and all these directors that you fall in love with and love their art, but like we need new things, and I feel like It Lives Inside was a really good just an attack at that, where they were saying, hey, like here it is, take it. And I really liked it. That made my runner up list as well. So
yeah, for sure, 10. Dude. Like new directors like that, when they turn out a awesome movie like that, especially with their first feature film, like it just it makes you excited. It makes you excited as a horror fan and as a film fan in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
And like that's how excited I got when I first saw, Hereditary, or when I first saw The Witch, like Robert Eggers, and his name escapes me from Hereditary, but like when these new directors came out, they just got me super excited for the genre again.
Yeah. He's got a weird name. He's Swedish. It's like something, I can't think of it. So weird, but yeah, I really like his work too, Hereditary and Midsummer and stuff. So I'm a big fan.
Hell yeah. But yeah, that's my number 3, man. I thought it was an awesome movie, dude. And I can't wait. I can't wait to own it.
Own it.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's been released out on the. Are you a physical media collector?
Hell yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it's out there.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are just like, dude, you could just stream it, or you can just get it online. But I'm like, dude, I like to fucking have it in my hands.
Yeah.
I'd be able to throw it on whenever I want.
Yeah.
I like to look at the box art. Okay. I'm a fucking VHS kid.
I love physical media. Love it.
Hell yeah. I'll always be. I still buy fucking records. I mean, totally. I love this shit. So who are we at now? Are we with you, Ben? At your number 3?
Well, my number 3 was Talk to Me. I thought Talk to Me was a really fresh, fun movie. I love that they infused the horror with kind of a drug addiction. These kids were like, yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's take it to the next party. I thought it was really fresh. I thought it was new. Just like we discussed, I love that it came from a new IP, a new director or directors. I really, really think that it started something new. And to be honest, the movie is fucking great.
It really is. Dude,
did you guys like Talk to Me?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Loved it. It's on my list.
Yeah. Oh boy. We're gonna boil this list.
Well, we'll see which one it is.
Yeah, dude, like those directors, like they came from YouTube, man. They were like YouTube sensations,
Yeah.
Making short films and videos on there, and they caught the eye of the studios and given an opportunity to make a feature film, and look at them now.
Yeah, they killed it. I actually heard. Do you guys remember at the beginning of the movie where the brothers are in a party and the guy shoves the knife in his face?
Yeah,
I heard that they were making a movie about that, about those two next.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently. I mean, I don't really
Talk to
remember the
me
ins and outs of
again.
it, but yeah,
Talk to me some more.
that movie
Hit me,
did
baby, one
so
more time.
good. It did
Talk to
great at the
me.
box office. They'll probably have a Talk to Me part
Oh
two, I'm
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I
Any
think I already read about that.
yeah.
It being
Anything that
greenlit.
does good at the in sales and numbers, there'll be a sequel that is coming back.
Yep.
At least in genre films.
Because it's all about making that cheddar.
Yeah. Dusty, what's your number two, son? Is that The Grinch Stole Christmas? Is that what I hear?
He's a
My
mean
number
one.
two. Surprisingly, it's not my number one, but it was a hard decision. But Thanksgiving is my number two.
Oh,
Nice.
girl.
Well, might
I
as well
love
knock out two birds with one stone. That's my number two as well.
Oh,
yeah, I loved
guys.
everything traditional about it. You know what you're getting, and like we said, like the I'm hyped that they're gonna do a sequel to it because it did well apparently. So that's a win in my book. I feel like there's not in it makes it special because there's not oversaturation of those kind of movies being
Yeah.
shot and put out to the public. So I thought
Right.
that was pretty legit in that sense.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of doing well, Ben, you had some news about this film. What was it, man?
Yeah. So Thanksgiving, and they once it crossed the $30 million mark, they announced they were going to do a sequel. That's going to be released probably in the fall of 2025 with Eli Roth directing again. Jeff Rendell's coming back for writing and the screenplay. So John Carver will be back for seconds.
John Carver mask. Nah, dude, I'm fucking stoked. I
Yeah.
love the movie, man. Again, I love slashers, dude. So this
Yeah.
easily made my number two spot. And I mean, like the fact that it made 30 million for a brand new slasher that had, it's not like again, not a remake, not a reboot,
Yeah,
something
out of
completely
its
fresh.
own
That's impressive, dude. You know?
taste.
I bet it's over 30 million by now.
Oh,
That's
for
just
sure.
yeah, I think that was just at the beginning, but I just love that they pulled the 80s kind of sentiment out of it and they're like, how
Yeah.
do we kill this guy? Oh yeah, let's put him in an oven and put a fucking thermometer in him and
Right.
it's just like
Loved
it
it.
was cool, man. It was like how do we kill someone now? Let's it was so
Yeah.
fun. So fun.
Yeah, and it was going to be high on my list regardless too, just because I've been waiting for this film for 16 years, man.
Was it 16 since that
16
trailer?
years since Grindhouse, since that faux trailer came
Wow.
out for Grindhouse. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we're getting
That's
old, Ben.
I know. I was like thinking, I was like, yeah, it's probably like I don't know, 10 years ago. But 16, damn.
Yep, we're getting old, dude. Fuck. But yeah, it's an awesome movie. So what's your number two, Ben?
Ooh, my number two is Evil Dead Rise.
Nice.
Nice. Up
We
there.
just went over it, so I don't want to say too much since we just talked about it. But
Yeah.
I think that the level of intensity and the gore and the just like everyone always gets choked up at the cheese grater to the leg scene when he just kind of slaps the
Yeah.
cheese grater on her leg. When I watch it, it's kind of like with Thanksgiving. You're like, who the fuck thought of this shit? This is fucking so goddamn fun,
Yeah.
So for me, Evil Dead Rise is like a really good popcorn movie. It's not the best movie. It doesn't need to be, but man, when you want to just fucking have fun, eat popcorn, have a beer, it's like the
Yeah.
perfect movie. It's great.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah.
Just goes to show you could find a Necro Comic Con anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere, anyhow.
Right behind me.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. What's this book? Let's read from it.
Oh.
Do you know it's really strange they took the Necronomicon and they made it like a record.
Yeah.
And they're like, I was like, this is a cool spin,
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, it was cool they pulled it out
Gives
of a
it a reason
cabin
to
and
play. It cuts
yeah,
out the middleman and just plays what the
yeah. Fuck your
fucking
record label.
pageant. Yeah.
Yeah. A little Easter egg too. I heard I don't remember where I heard it. It had to be a podcast, but I guess
Probably fake.
Bruce Campbell was one of the voices on that record.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think that Bruce Campbell produced the 2013 version. Or
Yeah.
he was a part of it. Like, yeah. So it's cool they keep him involved, even if it's just a little Easter egg. I love that.
Yeah. I think it's like Robert Tappert, Bruce Campbell, and Sam Raimi. Like they're still all like heavily involved, even with the new one too. Yeah.
That's so cool. Love it.
Yeah. It's their baby, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. So yeah, it made number 2 for me.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh,
All right. We're to your number one, Mr. Raphael
Oh,
Mitchell.
dude, we need a drum roll, Mr. Raphael.
It literally says duh. Talk to me, duh.
Talk to me, duh. Hey,
It
guess
was
what? That's my
so
number
good.
one too.
That one, like, I can't tell you how excited and hyped I was after watching
What the
that.
fuck? You
It
guys
really
had the
got
same
me.
list.
It really got me going and gave me new hope about new horror movies.
Yeah.
Gave me
Yeah.
all the things that I wanted, which was not to expect, so much and be so predictable. And
Right.
because I think part of it was too is it was like not US based, It was like I was
Yeah.
like, is this something that Australians like urban legend actually talk about and stuff like that, or is
Right.
it completely made up? But either way, it put me in that mind frame of saying, you know what, this is new to me. I want to
Yeah.
know what's
Yeah.
the seance hand.
Yeah.
I was really excited. I love the ending. I love everything about it. To be honest, I can't even go into details too much because I'll go on for days. But to keep it short, beautiful film.
Yeah,
and
it really is.
and like you said, it was like from independent people starting out small. So it's really inspiring.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna follow in what you said, Raphael. Like for the same exact reasons I love that film. It's a lot like It Lives Inside, man. We're getting something fresh, something new, something that's pushing the genre forward. And that's what I really enjoyed about it. I want that fucking hand.
I
Somebody
know.
make that
We need to
prop.
print those.
It's already made, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, they released a special box set and it has a hand in it.
Oh, who made it?
Yeah, I'm gonna make you.
Ooh, I can't remember. Do you guys know what Severin Films is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got a buddy that works over at Severin Films, and uh, he commented on my thing how much he liked the movie, and I was like, yeah, I need that fucking hand. And
Yeah.
he's the one that sent me the link. I could link it to you, but yeah, he was like, yeah, check this out. I'm like, holy crap.
Oh hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna have to get
I
one.
I love that it was like a plaster cast, and everyone's like autographing on it, and I was like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was just such a cool idea, dude. Like just clever writing. Like the
Yeah,
acting in the movie was well done. The scares were all
yeah,
earned, and that depiction of what I assume is hell or something similar
yeah,
to it was
purgatory.
pretty fucking unsettling and disturbing,
Yeah,
man. Like
that
that had
boy
to be
was
like
yeah,
stuck
one of
there.
the worst depictions of hell I've seen in a film. I was like, that poor
It
bastard.
reminded me of. It reminded me of like it put me back to a film that scarred me watching that scene similar to that, like Fire in the Sky. Where
Oh
he's
oh
yeah.
yeah,
in that
Speaking of
fucking-
alien movies, yeah.
oh,
yeah. That shit's intense.
so that scene definitely stood out to me. I was like, God damn, that's
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
him out. I want to
Right.
know. I want them to make a part two to play off of like the beginning of the movie with the brothers at the party or whatever.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
also like, how did the hand come to be? I want to know about like I want them to go way back or something.
I want
yeah.
to
Get that
say
backstory.
I either read an article or I heard an interview somewhere that they have greenlit the sequel and they are going to delve more into the origins of that hand. So,
That's
But I
awesome.
love
like,
the way
I
they like it's a thing that kids play with like at a
yeah,
party. Like it's all
Yeah,
about fucking the truth or dare kind of shit, but on a
yeah.
crazy spiritual level. I think it's genius.
it's like a
What?
double-edged sword for me though, because it's like I want to learn more about that hand, but at the same time, I don't want them to expose too much because it's going to take away like what makes
Yeah.
it scary, you
Yeah,
know?
powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like hopefully they balance that well.
Have you guys ever been like too drunk at a party, right? And you're like not standing up or you're puking and you kind of like wake up the next day and you're like, fuck, man, I drank way too much. I
Like
made an ass of
tomorrow.
myself. Yeah. I really like that Talk to Me expose those feelings.
Yeah,
Because when those kids are getting possessed, everyone's filming it, they're laughing at them, they're making fun of them, and then when these kids come back to reality and they're snapped back, they're kind of like, oh my god, what just happened? Like
right.
I was in danger, I was fucked up.
It
Yeah.
reminds me of the first time I smoked salvia.
Yeah, exactly, yeah,
I was like,
danger, and
whoa,
you're.
whoa. I thought I was dying. It was weird. Like,
uh,
I don't
But
know.
you know what I'm saying, right? It
yeah,
exposed this weird feeling that I feel like I've felt many times in my life, and
yeah,
no one's ever really shared that feeling with me. Like, oh, like, yeah, you got too drunk and made an ass of yourself. And
right,
while you're doing it, you're like somewhat like in cognate mind where you're like, oh man, like I need to like go for a walk or drink some water. So
right.
it was kind of cool that they mix that in with this like really dark atmosphere. So I was
Yeah.
all about it.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
loved it, man. Awesome film.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, that brings us to your number one, bud.
Oh, dude, my number one. If anyone's listened to previous episodes, they've heard me talk about it. It's called When Evil Lurks. It's fucking incredible movie.
Yeah,
Possession movie. Fuck, dude, practical effects. Like, just the. So the movie, it spawns on. Have you guys watched it?
I have not seen it yet, man, but I've
Oh
heard
man,
great things about it.
it's fucking incredible. So the movie spawns on there's a possession in the land, and it's an Argentinian film, and they're like, oh shit, like what are we gonna do? You know, and they go to this guy's house, and the guy's family's like, no, no, you can't take him, you can't kill him. That's our family, you know, and they're like, well, no, we need to shoot him, and they're like, you can't shoot him, then the evil will spread through the land. So
Yeah,
it's man, it's the most like morose, dark, fucked up, unwelcoming. Like every time you think that the movie's like at a peak of like this isn't going to get much worse, it gets a little bit worse and a little bit worse, and you're
yeah,
just watching it thinking, holy shit, dude, this is fucking miserable,
yeah.
miserable. Yeah, oh, it's the best shit I wouldn't even say the best movie of the year, probably the best movie of like last 5 years. I
Wow.
fucking loved. Yeah, it
Well,
was.
but now my expectations are like through the roof, man. So
Yeah, don't.
Better not.
I don't know how to say it. It just had this like unnerving feeling, you know, like we talked about, like say The Nun too, and
uh,
it was more of a jump scare, right? It
yeah,
was like, oh man, that made me jump. We were talking about Talk to Me, and that for me the unnerving feeling is like they're somewhere really dark, and the people are filming them and they don't understand, you know.
yeah,
And When Evil Lurks is like that, and dude, I'll tell you the kills in it too. There's I don't want to ruin it, but there's these kill scenes that spawn off each other, and there's like 3 kills in like 4 seconds, and you don't see any of it coming, you know.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh my god, they're gonna get killed, dude, and then just like snap, and then it's just like do 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 do, and you're like, holy fuck, did that just
yeah,
happen? Yeah, When Evil Lurks, man, just the way that they approach the possession subject, and the way the possession travels through the land, and it's more like the land is cursed, not necessarily the person. I
yeah.
loved it, loved it.
Yeah, I've only heard really, really good things about it from everyone, so I need to check it out. I kind of actually feel bad not seeing it before we did this episode. Because I'm like,
And
maybe it would have made my top five. Who knows?
that director only did one other movie too. So he's I
Pretty
mean, I don't
new.
know a lot about him because it's,
Yeah.
South American, and I haven't seen a lot about him, but yeah, he's a new director. He did one other movie. It's also on Shutter. I think they're both on Shutter. So
It's Terrified, right? Not to be
yeah,
mistaken with Terrifier.
yeah, it's called Terrified. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was fucking creepy too, but yeah, his next
Creepy
film, When
cat.
Evil
There
Lurks.
goes the cat
What
opening
cat?
doors.
So
Spooks.
we've kind of ran through these films. Let's throw out some runners up. Have you guys? I got a really good runner up. I really wanted to put it on the list. Have you guys seen Dark Harvest? It just came out a month and a half, 2 months ago.
No,
No.
again, another movie I really want to see and haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, so Dark Harvest is it's like fucking Pumpkinhead. It's this
Yeah.
creature. So what it is these kids, it's like Pumpkinhead meets The Purge. These
Okay.
kids every year their families starve them and then send them out to hunt this pumpkin creature. And that's like
Hmm.
what the premise of the movie is. And I don't want to go too much into it if you guys haven't seen it, but the really cool thing about it is the movie was like 125% Halloween the whole time. It's like
That's awesome.
a Halloween
I
movie,
love it.
and like there's a lot of Easter eggs. Like the kids are in this gang, and when they're in their gang and they're hanging out together, they put on Misfits masks. They've got the Crimson Ghost, and you're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was. I liked it just because it felt so fucking Halloween. Like
Yeah.
when you watch it, it's festive as fuck. Dark Harvest, I would check it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna check
Have
it
you
out eventually.
have you guys did you watch Knock at the Cabin?
Yes.
No.
That was a runner up for me. I enjoyed that one. It was fucking weird. You didn't miss a masterpiece, but it was fucking weird and it was fun, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Anytime M Night Shyamalan like releases a movie, like I'm interested to see it. Like I
Yeah.
I enjoy his earlier work much more than I do his later work, but I'm a
Yeah.
fan. I'll always
He's
be there to see what he puts out new.
he's really controversial, I'd say. People fucking hate him or are in love with him, he doesn't have
Yeah.
okay fans.
Yeah.
But Batista was in it. You know, the wrestler Batista.
Yeah.
He played Drax in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
He plays a very serious role. He's not a comedy. He's not the buff guy, but he's like a very serious role, and it was like really fun to watch him actually
Yeah.
act instead of just be a powerhouse.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I watched a movie on.
He's gotten a lot of good roles, dude, ever since coming into Hollywood. Like he's
Yeah,
been in Dune, Guardians of the Galaxy,
yeah,
like Knock at the Cabin. Like he's gotten to a lot of big roles. I was like, good for him, man. Blade Runner 2049. Like,
oh, you're right. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he has done good. Yeah.
yeah, he's done pretty well for himself.
I watched a movie last weekend called Unwelcome. It's a fucking gremlin movie.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, they're in fucking Ireland, and there's red caps, and they're fucking like
Nice.
coming in there and eating people and shit. It was so fun. But it came out this year, and it's just like another one where you're like, it's a B movie, you know, it's budget, but you're like, this is fucking fun as hell.
Yeah.
It's super fun. And there's another one, Hirosa the Bone Woman. It's horror mixed into pregnancy. So in this movie, they're fucking showing how dark it can be to be a woman and go through these things.
Yeah.
And pregnancy and birth and emotions, and you're just like, I feel like 2023 for me was a hit. There was a lot of good movies, and I know a lot of them didn't make it to theaters, and they're kind of more underground. But
Yeah. Hey, but that's what I love, dude, about like where we're at now with movies is you don't even have to be in a theater anymore to like be successful, you know? And some of the best movies these days don't even go to theater anymore, you know?
It's
So
true. That's very true.
yeah. I'd say a runner up for me, man, is Evil Dead Rise. It was very close to being into my top five. I could have swapped it with Scream, but the only reason I put Scream in my top five versus Evil Dead is I hold Scream near and dear to my heart. Like, yeah, sure, I was born in the 80s, but I grew up in the 90s. So when Scream came out, Scream to me is what, you know, Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees was for the kids who were born in the 70s and grew up with the 80s movies, you know?
Yeah.
So like I'm always going to be there for the next Scream movie. So it kind of edged out Evil Dead for me, and that's why it made my top five. But I did enjoy Evil Dead. I would say that I enjoyed the 2013 film more, you know?
Yeah.
But this one was still a lot of fun, and it's Evil Dead, man. It always delivers. So
Absolutely agree.
yeah,
Completely.
that was a definite runner up for me. Another runner up. I don't know if you guys would consider this horror or like horror adjacent, but it's The Menu. I thought that was a really fucking good movie.
The Menu is incredible. I love
Yeah,
that.
you know that's
I
another
actually
film.
forgot all about that. That would have hit my runner-up list.
Yeah, for sure. Have you checked that one out yet, Raphael?
I was questioning it. Like when I was looking at previews, I was like, it doesn't
Check
It's
it out,
cool.
dude.
my cup
It's
of tea,
cool.
but if you fools like it, you might like fucking Exorcist Believer. I don't know.
It's The Menu kind of has an art house vibe to it. It's a
Yeah,
little different, a little artsy in spots, but it's really cool, man.
it's good, man. It keeps you guessing. Like
Yeah.
it's trust me, it's not going to be what you think it is. Like when I first put it on, I thought, okay, this is going to be some cannibal shit. That's not what it is, you know. So
Yeah.
just check it out, man. I think it'll go beyond your expectations, and like you get good performances. Dude. You get Ralph Fiennes, man, the fucking Red Dragon himself, dude. So you know what I mean. And you
It's
get
the real
Anya,
deal.
yeah, you get the real deal, man. That guy, he's such a fucking good actor, dude. He plays creepy so well. And then Anya Taylor Joy, Nicholas Holt, man, it's a good
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Do you have a runner-up, Raphael? Anything that you saw that didn't make your
Yeah,
list?
it lives inside.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't say more than what Cliff already said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be definitely a B runner up for me.
Give me more of that raptor monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only complaint, put him in a costume, please.
Yeah,
Pumpkin.
for sure. Dude, I hope we get another one, man. I hope we get a sequel to that. I would like to see where that goes.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Yeah, me too.
I want to see that jar. I'm gonna make my own jar.
All right.
That DMT jar.
Take a whiff of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody make that prop, damn it.
So we've kind of wrapped up the 2023 list, and I just want to say I appreciate everyone listening in 2023 as well, and I hope that they go out and watch some of these movies we've talked about. Like we were saying, there's a lot of new directors, a lot of new concepts, new ideas, and
Yeah.
I think they're awesome to share. But what we should move over to is Cliff's got a list of listener questions from listeners. So yeah, let's kind of dig in and see what our listeners are asking us.
Yeah, for sure. So, I posted something on our socials, a little questionnaire and our stories, just to see if anybody wanted to connect with us and had any questions. And I thought it'd be fun to do for the last episode of the year. So I just kind of picked out some ones that I thought would be fun to answer. So the first question comes from a follower of ours called Horror Show Pictures. He said, "What are some of your hidden gem horror films that have been released in the last year?" You want to take
Oh
this
man.
one on first, Ben?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I actually know Horror Show Pictures. That his name's Adam, and Keisha. They're fucking awesome. I've worked with them before. They're independent filmmakers. They're actually working on they've done some short films. They're working on their first full length now. I would advise anyone that's into punk rock and roll, horror, and just that atmosphere, go check them out. They're fucking awesome people, and they work with a lot of really good musicians as well. Film a lot of horror punk videos, but
I
like I
agree.
said, Unwelcome was an Irish film about fucking red cap goblin or gremlins. It was fucking fun.
Yeah.
Hirosa, the Bone Woman, uh, fucking incredible movie. Just this really dark lore about being pregnant and being, kind of fucked up. Knock
Yeah.
at the Cabin. I know that's not lower budget or smaller or independent, but it was unnerving and it made me feel a little bit weird when I watched it, so it stuck with me.
Yeah.
Dark Harvest was fucking so Halloween feeling. I just fell in love with it. I'll probably pick that one up in physical copy. So
Yeah.
those are ones for me that maybe didn't make it on the big screen that I would recommend to horror fans.
Nice. What about you, Raphael?
I really was stumped by that question because I was like so focused on our show topic movies that I didn't really take much time to watch anything else other than the shit I always watch.
Yeah.
The dumb shit I always watch. So if I had to put something on the list, I would just say like this relatively new BTK documentary on Hulu, the closest thing I can get to something as a hidden gem. The
Nice.
way they put it together, it's like you hear these stories a million times, but like when somebody puts it in a way where it's like you it's memorable on in that documentary, it's like it makes my list.
Yeah.
So
When you say BTK, you mean the blind torture killer?
find, torture, kill. Yep.
Yeah, from was it
Dennis Rader.
Oklahoma or Kansas or somewhere out there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the Hulu.
I'm
Sweet.
gonna have to check it out, dude. I like watching like true crime documentaries and
Dude,
stuff.
it's fucked up.
Uh,
Every time I watch them, they put me to bed like I'm so calm and peaceful. Like all my anxiety just slips away because someone else is going through some shit, I guess. They say
Yeah.
it's a thing. Like where people like are like people with ADHD or people that have anxiety and stuff, when they watch these,
Yeah.
it just calms them for some reason. It's so fucked up. And I'm
Yeah.
the
one of those people.
the BTK killer for me too is he was a little bit heavier than the rest. He didn't just show up somewhere and shoot someone and
Yeah,
leave.
this is a big
He was
plan.
he was
What scared the
kidnapping
shit
and
out of me about that fucking guy, he worked for the alarm system company. So
yeah,
he knew what lines to cut, telephone lines, and what, he's scoping out his victim's house while he's putting their ADT together or whatever the fuck it is. I'm like,
yeah,
that's terrifying. It's your Cox cable guy, you know,
yeah.
and then they're saying, I'm gonna fucking do some shit. Like, that's terrifying.
Scary as hell.
And he was like, he looked like the rest, like some of them that are really good at being incognito, like Family Guy. He looks like Walter White, basically.
The last person you would expect. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
I'm gonna have to check that out, man. I like watching those documentaries. I really enjoyed the Night Stalker one that Netflix did.
It's so good. I watched it 3 times. And I thought it was that good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I still need to get around to watching. I think it's called the Ted Bundy tapes. I haven't watched that one yet.
I liked
Yeah.
them.
It was pretty good. Yeah. I'll have to check it out. Much like you, Raphael, I mean, like, I didn't struggle to get a top five, but it was kind of difficult for me to think of 5 movies that I could really put in my top five for the year. So to think of like a hidden horror gem that I haven't already mentioned, such as like The Menu, I'd probably have to go with a film that wasn't technically released in this last year, but I was doom scrolling through, I think it was like Amazon Prime, and I came across a movie that was released, I want to say in 2013 or so. It was called The Black Death. Have either of you seen that?
Hmm.
No.
No, sure haven't.
It was pretty good. It has Michael Bean in it, so I mean, I'm pretty sure you could already assume what happens to him in the film. Same thing
That-
that happens to him in every film he's in. But it takes place in medieval times, and there's a plague that's going around, and these guys are sent out to go to these different villages and kill witches that they believe are spreading this plague back in medieval times.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a pretty dude. It caught me by surprise, man. I was just like, hey, you know what? This sounds interesting. I like period pieces. I like Michael Biehn as an actor. I was like, so I'm gonna check this out, and I was pleasantly surprised, man. It's a good film, and
Good.
yeah, the ending of the film just is like, oh shit, dude, are you fucking serious? It has a really good twist, so I recommend checking
All
it
right.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
some M. Night Shyamalan shit.
out.
Welcome to
say,
2020, bitch. Just kidding.
Yeah,
You said it
it's
was
more.
a Prime.
Yeah, I want to say I watched it on Amazon Prime, dude,
Okay.
but it might be like on Tubi as well or some shit.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, dude, check it out. I think you would dig it, dude. Like I like medieval shit. I like period pieces. I like fucking witches, and so it was like
Yeah.
right up my alley, man. I thought it was really good. And
Awesome.
like I said, it's got a pretty good ending. It's just like the twist is more of a gut punch, like more of a like, oh fuck, all right.
Thanks. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
M.
yeah.
Night
But check it out. All right. So we got another question here. This comes from Doom Doer, and I actually know him. His name is Sean Stark. He's a good friend of mine. Um, he lives in SoCal as well, and he works in the industry. I don't want to get his job title wrong. I just know that he works in lighting. So he's done different TV shows, music videos, movies, and things like that.
Love her.
So he asks, "What do you who do you think is the greatest FX? Holy fuck, FX
Special
makeup
effects.
artist of the 70s and 80s? Yeah, special effects makeup artist. Who wants to take a crack at it?
You go for it, Raphael. I think we're all probably gonna.
I'm Savini.
Oh,
Tom Savini. Okay.
I'm gonna go fucking Tom Savini or Rick Baker. I have a really special spot for Rick Baker because the way he carries himself and who he. I guess fucking Savini's like that too. This seem like really special people, but when you say 80s, you got like K and B, which is fucking incredible.
Yeah,
But then it's like Rick Baker. I feel like when you say 80s, it's endless. There's so many.
Oh,
But
it's so many.
yeah,
I'm gonna go Rick Baker, and the only reason why is because I follow him on Instagram, and he's retired from the industry, but he does something I love. He dresses his daughters up every year for Halloween. And my
yeah,
girlfriend actually showed me this. I had no idea. She's like, "Do you follow Rick Baker?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh my God." So 4 or 5 years ago, she was showing me this, and he dresses his daughters up and his whole family, and they do these portraits together.
yeah,
And I was like, this guy fucking loves what he does. So for me, I'm just gonna say Rick Baker, just because I love his Instagram. He does a lot of like the gothic kind of classic horror monsters as well. It's not always just gore.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go Rick Baker, but I love me
Nice.
some Savini. I love K&B. I'm all over it.
Well,
Yeah,
even though like this one isn't probably the film isn't 70s or 80s, but like I love what Savini did with Land of the Dead and
yeah,
John Leguizamo's in that and stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why that one. I think I really enjoy it because I think I had one of my like for sure encounters with like ghosts and shit while watching that film. Like weird shit happened to me while watching that. So it
yeah,
kind of brings those two reality and fantasy together. I'm like, wow, okay.
Right.
But I mean, who doesn't like zombies and shit?
Have you seen the Tom Savini documentary? I think it was called Smoke and
yeah.
Mirror.
Yep.
I don't think I
Man, yeah,
It's
you
pretty
should
good.
watch it. His
watched
history.
someone go to his house though on YouTube. That was kind of cool.
Is it his
Oh yeah,
school?
I've seen
His
that.
school.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah, no,
yeah, you should watch the documentary. It talks about why he's so good at special effects, and it's really disturbing.
Ah!
yeah. Being a photographer in the Vietnam War.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was reporting on dead bodies and
It
butchered
looks like
limbs. So
yeah,
he understands it from a really personal spot. Cliff, what? Where are you going with this?
Well, I love Tom Savini and I love Rick Baker. So to keep it interesting, I was going back and forth with who I really wanted to say is like who my favorite is. I'm not going to say he's the best, but I would just say one of my personal favorite special effects makeup artists is Rob Bottin. So
Okay.
Rob Bottin worked on movies like The Howling or The Thing.
Right.
So I was gonna go with Rick Baker because I love his work throughout the decades, and American Werewolf in London is one of my favorite werewolf transformations of all time.
Of course,
Um,
yeah.
and
Better than
Tom,
Michael Jackson?
he also did that one.
Yeah, he did
But
that
is
too.
it better?
Uh, oh, I don't know. I mean, they're on par with each other. I'll say that.
I
But
was to say Rick Baker did them both. Fuck.
yeah, he did them both. And like Raphael said, I mean, like with Tom Savini, I mean, fucking legend, dude. I mean, like it doesn't get
Yeah.
better when it comes to kills in slasher films.
Yeah.
So, but Rob Bottin, man, I feel like that, he was the protege of Rick Baker, and
Yeah.
he kind of went out and did his own thing, broke off in the 80s. And, the Howling, the werewolf transformation of that film, I feel like is just as good as the one in American Werewolf in London. I wouldn't say it's better, but I mean, it's right there, and it's such a creepy scene and it just looks so disturbing. And what he did with the thing, I mean,
The thing
geez,
is
dude.
mind blowing.
The thing is just, yeah, it's absolutely freaking mind melting what he did with that movie with special effects.
It's probably the best body horror movie I can think of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And Rob Bottin, I mean, he's such a legend, but he's one of those guys who got out of the industry, man, and he doesn't really have anything to do with it anymore. And nobody could really even get in contact with him. He's turned down interviews. He's turned down being in documentaries. He's done with Hollywood. But hey, man, he left a lasting impression and a legacy. So
yeah, absolutely.
Rob Bottin for me. All right, so let's see what else we got here. So we have, I believe her name is either Lori or L'Oreal Renee asks, will Raphael ever go back to his natural hair color? These are questions we need answers to, Raphael.
I haven't had a job in 2 years. Damn the man. I ain't going back to normal hair color if I don't feel like it. Cheers
still
to
rocking
that.
the green hair.
Oh yeah, is it still green?
Gotta dye tomorrow. Got a show coming up.
Nice. Hell yeah. All right. Is it permanent? Do you permanently dye it every time you do that?
Well, no, the color is like semi-permanent, so it washes out, and then I got to color again. Otherwise, it looks like trash.
Oh, gotcha.
And actually, Cliff, I don't know if you ever dyed your hair. It washes out pretty quick. You got to keep up with it.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're clean, it washes out pretty quick.
Yeah. So like before I let my hair grow out again, because after 4 years, I ended up cutting all my hair off last year, August.
Oh yeah, Brittany.
And yeah, it was instant fucking regret, dude. I did the whole Britney thing. Like,
I remember him. So if you go follow my Instagram, it doesn't look like me. I had longer hair.
Shh, you be quiet.
I was like, I don't care, bro. You're still cool.
I was like, you might go on there and be like, who the fuck is this guy? That's not the guy I met.
I didn't know what you looked like. You had a fucking cosplay.
Oh, that's true. But yeah, that was the last time I dyed my hair. I got it, I guess you would say like bleached. I don't know. I did the fucking Aquaman thing. So that was the last time I had any color in my hair.
What did you do? You cut it short like a barber haircut and dyed it blonde?
No. When my hair was still long, I did like the Aquaman fucking hair, like bleach.
Oh,
like the highlights at the bottom that faded in. Yeah,
it's called the balayage, gentlemen.
Oh, okay, Mr. Fancy. I'm drinking his Zinfandel.
Zinfandel. Y'all know what your hair treatment's called?
It's a balayage.
Right. But yeah, I think I'm done with the hair dye, at least for now. I was thinking about dyeing it black, honestly.
Good, you won't go bald left soon.
Typo negative will help you with that.
Right. So the next question comes from our buddy Skogie. He says, what did you guys think of the Candyman Soft reboot? And do you guys keep up with the Chucky TV series?
I'll jump in on this. Candyman reboot. I fucking loved it. I love that they were taking it to a political place because, the first one's in the projects, the original. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was, it's blasphemy to say it, but it was as good as the original to me. I mean, I was never a huge Candyman fan. I really liked the politics behind it and the direction, but I thought the new Candyman was. I really liked it. I went to the theater and I saw it and I was like, "Damn, dude, that was a really good movie." So, I loved Candyman, and I keep up with the Child's Play TV show Chucky-ish. I haven't seen season, was it 3 now? But yeah, I've seen part 1 and 2.
Sweet.
I liked it. I thought it was very artsy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just modernized pretty much.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of cool. I did like the little backstory of creepy motherfucker in the walls and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
handing out candy and stuff like that. But like for me, I don't know. Like I always want more of that story of the Candyman. Like I want an hour and 30 minutes of him becoming Candyman.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I liked it enough. And as far as it goes, as I'm gonna do what Ben does.
That's the reset button, buddy.
Wait, clap.
When it comes
Edit
to
that part out.
Chucky,
Yeah.
when it comes to Chucky, I think I watched the first season for sure. But to be honest, I don't even know if I watched the second season or what's out right now. Is there 2 or 3 seasons
I
out?
think it's on the third one.
Yeah, they're on 3.
Okay, so I'm way behind. The last thing I saw, he was cloning himself. So I think that was the end of one, wasn't it?
It might have been. I never got that far
I
into
don't
the
know, yeah,
series.
but I'm not in a rush to go watch it. I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting enough during that time when it came out. Like we binged it, and I was like, cool.
Yeah.
But I haven't
Yeah.
like running back to Peacock to watch it right now. But I
Yeah.
want it's there for me.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of did with Chucky what they did with Ash versus the Evil Dead is
Yeah.
are trying to cram so much fucking idea and concept into something that was never built to be that.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
can be hard to follow. Like Ash versus Evil Dead, I loved the first season, and after that, you're kind
Yeah.
of like, where the fuck is this going?
Yeah.
And Chucky's kind of like the same way. It's like, okay, like it's fun, to have a beer and laugh, but
So
it's
maybe it would have worked better as like a 10 episode miniseries versus like an ongoing series.
yeah, I mean, it's a cash cow, right?
Yeah.
Paramount's
But I'll,
like, yeah,
I'll watch anything with Jennifer in it. Whatever. I don't care what
yeah.
it is.
There you go.
She's in it more in the later seasons too.
Mhm. You like that they brought back the fucking original Andy and the original stepsister. I forget her
Yeah,
name.
that's cool.
They
I
brought
like-
everyone back
Mhm.
when you start watching it. All the OGs are in it. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. I think that's great. That's what does it for me to continue watching something when they do things like that and they're able to do it, or the actors are alive or they're like down to do it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What about you, Cliff?
The Candyman reboot, I enjoyed it, man. I thought it was pretty good. Like you said, I like how they modernized it and kind of fit it into what's going on politically in the world today. And
Yeah.
which makes sense for that kind of movie, like how else do you reboot it? That's probably the best direction to take it. Um, the original film for me is one of my favorite films of the 90s. So
Oh,
it's
crazy.
yeah, so it's very very hard for a reboot or remake to top that for me. It's one of my favorite Clive Barker adaptions in general, so
Right.
it's right there next to Hellraiser for me, like two of my favorite adaptions of Clive Barker. I mean,
Do
but
you feel like so in the original Candyman, it's got this really like romantic vibe, He's
yeah.
I feel like I didn't get that feeling out of the remake. There was that
Be my victim. Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get that, and I was kind of wanting that, but
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty good, man. And his name escapes me at the moment, but the main actor from that film, he was Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen series. He's Black Manta and Aquaman. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But anyways, I thought he did a really good job playing the role, and like seeing his transformation into the new urban legend that is Candyman. I thought was pretty cool, pretty clever idea, and getting to
yeah.
see that little cameo with the original Candyman at the end of the film, I thought was cool too. So
Oh, it's Tony Todd.
yeah,
Yeah.
with Tony Todd, yeah,
Yeah, that was really it was done well too. He's kind of like floating and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, exactly. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I really liked it, man. And the art that he's an artist in the TV or in the film, and when it shows his art and stuff, it's like really cool and nerving. And I'm like,
Yeah,
it's cool, man. They did a good job.
yeah, no, they did. The kills were pretty cool too. So yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. As far as the Chucky TV series, I watched the first like maybe like 3 or 4 episodes and just kind of fell off. Not because I wasn't enjoying it, I just got sidetracked. You know how that is, dude. You start watching something, you get
Oh, yeah.
sidetracked, and then you kind of forget about it. Um, I do have Peacock, so eventually I'll get back to that show. But from what I saw, I thought it was fun. But like you, Ben, I think that's one of those IPs that would probably work better as a miniseries versus an ongoing series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, when something makes money, they don't let it go.
right.
It's like, and to be honest with you, as a fan of it too, is like I like Chucky. I want to see Chucky.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time with remakes because it's like everything's remade and everything's been re-released, and I'm a huge Beetlejuice fan, and the second one's coming, and part of you is like, no, leave it alone. It's like one of the best movies ever made. Don't you dare fuck with Beetlejuice. But at the same time, you're like, I love that character and I want to know more about it.
Yeah.
So it's I get stuck and I try to not one thing I find when I talk film with people is a lot of people are snobby and they hate everything, and I don't want to be like that. I want to enjoy it and I want to have fun with it. So,
Give it a chance.
Right.
well, I
Exactly.
mean, especially speaking of horror and genre, we're such a small part of the film industry, you know. So it's like
Yeah.
I want to enjoy it, you know. So
Mhm.
Right. But horror's had such a big resurgence, like over the past like 5 to 10 years, and that makes me happy, man. I feel
yeah,
like
me
it's
too.
it's it's up there again. It's like it's popular again. All right. So our last question of the evening, guys, comes
Oh boy,
from comes from Cinnamon Girl, aka my wife.
that's a typo negative reference there.
It sure is. She asks, "How has horror influenced your music?" So this question is directed at both of you, gentlemen.
Well, for me,
Mm-hmm.
tremendously,
Yeah.
because when you watch a movie and you listen to the music that they write to it, it goes hand in hand. You can't, have a great script but not a great fucking score. Like in my opinion, like if you have a shitty score, it might like affect the way the person feels when they're watching it. So when I write music, especially when it comes to like my band being horror and influenced, I like to write like in the sense of making the listener visualize the movie that I wrote in music in their head.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's my biggest point of how it connects together.
And
Yeah,
has horror also influenced the theatrical side of Dead Rise?
110%. Like I've always wanted to be I guess deep down my little punk rock snotty nose stinky fucking leather jacket kid was a drama kid deep down inside.
Yeah.
But I always got along with the drama kids. It was like, hey, I feel you. Like that's awesome. Like it's high school so delicate to have the
Yeah.
ball sit there and be on a play and act or whatever. That's
Yeah.
that's big balls. That takes a lot of guts. So
yeah,
I always appreciated those kids and stuff like that. So bringing being able to express that side of me,
Mm-hmm.
it's like Ben said a couple episodes back, like, oh, this is why I do this. This is fun. This is
Yeah.
I get to be a character or whatever. I get to be in my own movie for 30 minutes on stage.
Right.
yeah.
So yeah, I love it. Like the greats, everything from the greats, like freaking Alice Cooper, Rob Zombie, all
So good.
all all those things, everything that they do, they bring a horror movie to life on stage for their show, in a sense,
Right.
and I love that. Like
Yeah.
every song, I kind of have like different tricks I pull out of my hat for the song, to kind of
Yeah,
put them in that song.
Right.
Yeah, super. It's horror and music, one and the same, especially rock and metal.
Yeah.
right.
So can't get away from it. It's something that's
It's
I
true.
think needed, and it actually influenced me to put a lot more orchestral into my music.
Yeah.
Listening to movie scores, like I download a bunch of like everything's set 80s 90s horror movie scores, and I just listen to them because I want to write songs that are like movies, mini movies.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing for me, the
Well,
connection.
you're doing a good job at it, my friend.
Oh, thanks, God.
Killing it.
Yeah,
Hell
it
yeah.
definitely takes a village though, with everybody, because
Oh, for sure.
you work with in a band. It's like I never would have never thought of that, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like I'm the hook guy, I want to leave everybody with that hook that they remember, like the fucking Michael Myers fucking Halloween song. Like I want them to walk away and be able to recite it in their head. And
Right.
yeah. Well, it's fun too when you play live and your fans know the song and how it goes, and they sing it with you, and it's a good
yeah,
feeling, man. Great
especially
feeling.
I mean, like you talk about Carpenter, like I'm sure he's sick of hearing the
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you wrote it, bro. We love it.
All right.
And it
Oh,
stands
wow.
the test of time. That's what I mean. Like that's where the horror influence comes into my music. Like I want to write little, I guess you could say little jingles in the songs that like stand the test of time and things like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure. Well, how has horror influenced your music, Ben?
Well, it's kind of funny because when I think about it, I don't think I know any music outside of that. So I actually was trying to figure out how many bands or projects I've been in since I've been doing this, live music about 22 years. I did bands before I actually played live, like punk rock bands as a kid, where we're recording cassette tapes and we, before I actually played real shows, we played parties and stuff. But when I think about it, even when I think about like punk rock bands or even the band that me and Raphael played in together, it always had a darker side. It wasn't necessarily a horror movie, but it was a dark side of life, and
Yeah.
I've never actually been in a band that didn't have a dark side, so I don't know anything different, I guess.
Yeah.
Um it the lyrics aren't necessarily like horror movies, but even if they break into politics, it's something dark like nuclear fucking
Yeah.
waste is coming and the Holocaust and all these like issues, but then I've also played in straight up horror punk bands, where we sing about horror movies.
And they
So
tell you a story.
yeah, so it's for me, I honestly don't really know anything else. I've only ever played dark music, and honestly, I don't really have a desire to run out and write a pop song about this or that, and I just
Yeah.
there's a song that comes on the radio. It's like I'm happy today, and it fucking bothers me, and I'm like, fuck, like it, but
The
it's just
motherfucker
who I
should be thinking
am.
about chicken wings.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, Raphael's done something outside, but everything I do is just like a darker atmosphere, when I'm
Yeah.
writing in scales and we won't break into that, but I'm just playing darker riffs. I'm using darker tones. I'm telling darker stories in my lyrics. Everything, whether it's
Yeah.
horror or not. Like I said, I've played the straight horror stuff and I've done like that, but everything is
It's
horror kind of
intertwined
based.
in
Yeah, and I don't
chemical
know any
makeup.
difference. Like Raphael said, you have your greats like Alice Cooper and stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
inspiring. I would say
Mhm.
that's what lifts me the highest. We just talked about Beetlejuice, and that's why I love him so much. Is like, he's only in the movie for like 17 minutes, but everybody fucking falls in love with this character and they don't forget him,
Yeah.
and it's like, no,
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny
love
you
it.
guys mentioned got like, rock stars like Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie, because I always felt like for myself, I've always gravitated towards those types of artists like Rob
Right.
Zombie, Alice Cooper, Marilyn Manson, Slipknot, Mudvayne, like bands that are very theatrical, bands that are very horror influenced, and I don't know what it is, like why horror and, metal or horror and punk go hand in hand, but it really does. And I feel like if you are like, a fan of that kind of music, you're probably a horror fan. And if you are a horror fan, you're probably a fan of that type of music. I don't know what it is or why it lines up and just goes together like peanut butter and jelly, but it does.
I
I think
think
it's
it's a
because
darker
it's an
atmosphere.
underground thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
underdog, like horror genre is an underdog kind of genre, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like punk and rock still, so it's like it makes sense that they go together.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny when you go to the horror convention, and I would say 90% of people are like metalheads.
Yeah.
When
100%.
they're not there, they're at a Cannibal Corpse show, and you're like, it's Cannibal Corpse's audio to what a slasher movie is, so
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense, man.
But on that note, I think that's gonna bring us to the end of our episode, gentlemen, and we won't talk again until next year, January.
Yeah.
Woo!
So in the
Happy
meantime,
New Year!
thank you everybody for listening so far this year, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Be safe, be merry, be
Drink a lot
spooky.
of cider.
Yep.
Get drunk and fight your family at your Christmas party.
Yep.
Throw your Santa hat in the fire.
All right.
Throw that elf in a shelf in the fire.
Hope you guys get a lot of elf poop this year.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks again for listening. We appreciate you all. And for Raphael, Ben, and myself, this is Tales from the Casket saying, stay spooky.
Cheers, you fiends. Have a good New Year.